Hey, welcome back to Getting a Grip on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Mike Maddox, your host. So glad that you are with us today. This show airs on the Michigan Business Network every Monday. So you can catch us on Mondays, and we hope that you are doing so. And please check out the other programs on the Michigan Business Network. There's a lot of valuable business content out there. None of it as good as Getting a Grip, but I'm a little bit biased in that opinion. I'm so happy to have David DeJonge with me today. He is the president of Behler-Young. We're talking about EOS, the EOS journey that Behler-Young has been on, David's role, how he got started. Don Tinney was his implementer. And if you're an EOS aficionado out there, you're going to be jealous like I am that he had Don Tinney. And all my clients that are listening are thinking, why can't we get Don Tinney? But that's a different subject for a different day. David, I want to talk about the foundational tools of EOS. We talked about how it works, and it works at companies of all sizes. And if you are listening and you're new to EOS, the foundational tools are fairly simple. There's 6 of them. It's vision, creating a vision that the entire company can rally behind and get behind and follow and work toward. It's getting the right people in the right seats, making sure that you have all the right people in the right seats. It's getting your data and your metrics and your KPIs really clear by all individuals in your company. Everybody has numbers that they need to be working toward. It's about getting your issues identified and not procrastinated, not just blown off or not lawn mowed over. I call it lawn mowing weeds, right? Where you lawn mow the weeds, they go away, but they pop back up. It's getting to the root of the issue and solving them. And then building processes. And once you identify root cause solutions, getting processes documented. And then through all of that, you develop traction as a company. And that's the foundational tools. Tell us about Behler-Young and your experience with vision and, getting that established. And you said you started with your executive team, your leadership team. How did that eventually filter throughout the company?
It's interesting because this coming Monday, we have our annual planning meeting. And usually what I've done the last 3-4 years is because we're so transparent on not only our goals for the year, or where we want to go on the vision, we also have look at some of our pre-thoughts for the following year. So there is a lot of times there is no surprise. So when I get to Monday, we want to talk about the vision for next year for 24. We've already discussed it. I'll say probably in great detail some of the very, very important things that we want to do. So there's no surprises. There's no misunderstanding of, hey, what are we going to do now? What is there a new fad or what? No, because we want to be transparent with our team members. So the vision coming with the executive team coming Monday, like I said, we've already thought about that for a few months already in advance for 24. So I'm pretty excited where that's going to go.
Yeah, that's powerful. And, creating that, people want to be part of something bigger than themselves, and they want to see the big picture. And I think so many businesses make the catastrophic mistake of not spending time developing that, articulating that, sharing that, and then it becomes monotonous within the business, right? People want to be part of something bigger.
Yeah, in fact, I mentioned to you, Mike, during the break that every quarter I do a 10-minute video state of the company update. And that is to continue to promote that vision, make sure you would have to crawl under a rock to not understand what's going on in the company.
Yeah, so
absolutely. That's really exciting.
And once you get the vision established, it's important to have the right people in the right seats. So the tool
critical.
And EOS calls it right people, right seats. So the right person is somebody who's aligned on your core values, who is not only saying the right things, but lives and breathes the core values of the company. You mentioned you use core values to interview. We do too. And I'll often tell candidates that the reason I'm spending so much time on the core values is if you're not aligned on the core values, on our core values, you're not going to like it here. I mean, eventually you're not going to like it here. And because it's who we are. And that's the right person. Right seat is making sure they are in a job that they want, and they have the ability to be successful at. How did you get that? I mean, that takes time. That's hard work.
It does, but it's, the traction book kind of warned you a bunch of things, and you think, oh, that's about some other company. Yeah. But that's not, right? The right people in the right seats is almost the most critical thing. And just got to realize you will have some people, once things are defined, that they will self-select. Some of them are going to self-select out of your company, and you got to be okay with that, knowing that based on those core values and where you want to go on the vision, you're going to find the right person that aligns with you, and greater things will happen for the future. We saw that. There were some self-selections. There was change on our executive/leadership team.
Yeah.
And
We experienced the same
book
thing.
says that will happen. And we thought, oh, not here at Behler-Young, but yes, it does happen. And when you look in the long term, in retrospect, it is always looks better.
Yeah, and we're going to get into in the next segment metrics and KPIs and measuring, which is usually the indicator that you maybe have somebody in the wrong seat. But we had the same, I can relate to your experience, the same thing I've seen over and over again at my own company and at clients that I've worked with. They think, well, that's a different company. But then when they start working into it, they realize some of the people are just the wrong people. They may be really smart or
Yeah,
really skilled in a particular area. But
because you'll have people that say like, well, Johnny or Susie are, oh, they're so talented. But one, if they don't align with the core values, you could have the smartest person in the room, but you're going to have a silo. You're not going to get to the promised land.
You're not, and they're going to train your company of energy too. And Patrick Lencioni talks about that in his books, the 5 dysfunctions of a team and the ideal team player. So if you're listening, you want to check out more about that concept, check that out. But appreciate you sharing that with us. And right after the break, we're going to talk about metrics, because that's how you measure. And I want to get into that because I want to get your thoughts on that. And I think there's a lot of people with misconceptions of what that is. So stay with us. We're coming back to talk about that and much more after this.